President just signing an executive order here, the press secretary putting out a statement just a few moments ago, this focusing on communications infrastructure.
Huawei has filed a motion to accelerate the legal process against the US government for trying to deny it significant access to the American market.
今天我们带来了华为的鸿蒙 OS、Harmony OS。
We cannot allow any other country to outcompete the United States in this powerful industry of the future.
We're not going to do business with Huawei.
实事求是来讲，这个美国对我们全球5G 的打击和遏制，还是给我们带来了很大的影响。
2019 was a year of roller coaster experience for Huawei. Are they still good? I'm Albert from Guancha.cn. On March 31st, Huawei just published its 2019 annual report. I gotta say I'm impressed with all the difficulties. They've still got a beautiful number. In 2019, Huawei's revenue achieved $123 billion with net profits of $9 billion, which is 19.1% more than the year 2018. However, if we take a closer look, the fact is that the revenue is below the expectation. Huawei's H1 2019 report shows a growth of 23.2% increase, so it had to be some unavoidable difficulty to pull the number back to 19.1%. Well, I think we all know what happened.
We're not going to do business with Huawei. We're not doing business with them. And I really made the decision.
Just a few days before the announcement of the annual report, I heard something from the other side of the ocean. According to CNBC, sources familiar with the matter said senior officials in the Trump administration agreed to new measures to restrict the global supply of chips to Huawei. Again, Huawei becomes the sacrifice for President Trump to shift the people's attention away from internal troubles. For now, the US is leading the number of confirmed cases with coronavirus in the world, and the economy suffers from it. Politically, Democratic candidate Joe Biden is leading the poll on 2020. Hey, this number is from Fox News, the only news that Mr. President believes to be real. Meanwhile, Huawei is trying to help. On March 26th, Andrew Cuomo, the governor of the state of New York, announced significant donations to help increase the state's supply capacity, and Huawei was among the least. Business is business, but when politics steps in, the free market fades away. President Trump vows to make America great again, but he doesn't want to do it decently. In May 2019, the US government banned Huawei from working with some of its longtime partners, such as Google, so Huawei can't use all of Google's services. It hurts the company a lot, since global consumers heavily depend on Google, Google Maps, and Gmail. Luckily, the Chinese market doesn't depend on Google services, since it's more familiar with local apps such as Baidu, Gaode Maps, and WeChat. But still, it is huge damage to the company's global expansion. However, the company still sold 240 million smartphones, and along with PC, tablets, wearables, and smart screens, consuming business still contributed over half of Huawei's revenue in 2019. It means Huawei has proven itself to be a valuable and trustworthy brand in the market. But on the other side, the growth rate outside of the Chinese market had fallen 1.6% last year. The damage is real. Moreover, the Trump administration is doing whatever they can to persuade European allies not to work with Huawei to establish their 5G network. Huawei is the best in this field, and it is ridiculous not to use the best, isn't it? It's just like a guy who doesn't want his girlfriend to speak with other excellent guys. I mean, they invest over 10% of their sales revenue into research and development every year. In 2019, they spent $18.8 billion in R&D, and their total R&D investment over the past decade is more than $85.7 billion. In 2019, they had approximately 96,000 R&D employees, accounting for 49% of the total workforce. All this investment make Huawei one of the largest patent holders in the world. They are granted more than 85,000 patents by the end of 2019. Let's put it simple. They're good, they're fast, and they are affordable. The Trump administration believes that killing Huawei is the key to maintain American supremacy in technology. Let's have a history lesson. Napoleon, the great French conqueror, saw Great Britain was an obstacle on his way to conquer the world. In 1806, he created the continental system to ban the European continent from doing business with Great Britain, and he failed. His empire collapsed with the system. After a brief history lesson, let's look at the reason that the US holds against the Huawei.
We cannot ensure the defense of the West if our allies grow dependent on the East.
Interesting. China has never spied on French presidents or German chancellors as the US did. Ask Snowden about it. On February 11th, 2020, the Washington Post had revealed the little secret of Crypto AG. It is a Swiss company that keeps communications of spies, soldiers, and diplomats secret for governments all over the world. Guess who is the owner of the company? Why on earth does the US think they can teach the world about national security? American companies are also suffering from the trade war. Micron CEO Sanjay Mehrotra made a very clear suggestion that boycotting Huawei will make American companies suffer. The 21st century is the century of globalization. Our world is deeply connected, and no one can survive without friends and partners. Huawei is just another multinational corporation that wants to do business in America and every other country in the world. There's nothing different from Toyota, Siemens, or Samsung. Huawei is buying $6 billion components from American suppliers every year, which indirectly created 35,000 jobs for American people. In 2018, Huawei even purchased $11 billion of products from its American partners. Many times, Huawei has mentioned how much they value American partners, the American market, and American people. The company is actually helping out the goal to make America great again. So, cutting Huawei away from the US will do no good to American companies. Think about it. Putting sanctions on Huawei will weaken American tech firms' revenue, and they will have less money for R&D. With less on R&D, they will become less competitive on the market. According to the Boston Consulting Group's report, China has been establishing alternative non-US suppliers for semiconductor demand, and it caused the growth of the top 25 American semiconductor firms decrease 4 to 9% in 2019. No mention if the US keeps pushing China, then China will have to fight back.
如果美国这种措施能够得以实施，中国政府也别无选择，只能对某些公司采取同样的措施。
China is the second largest market for Apple and the biggest market for Qualcomm. In 2019, Qualcomm's revenue was $24.7 billion and the Chinese market contributed $11.6 billion. I don't think Qualcomm can keep up with the 5G R&D with yearly revenue of $13.1 billion. The US Defense Department made a statement in their own report on 5G, and they have already realized the reality. The report says that American companies are not competitive enough to stop the expansion of China's 5G provider in the world. Wise man said, if you can beat them, join them. Doing business side by side, so American companies can keep up with the latest tech development, remain in the playfield, and wait for the next opportunity. Well, isn't that how you do business? Ren Zhengfei, the founder of Huawei, said 2020 will be the year of a true test. Has no profit. I believe he was talking about the US sanction. But the coronavirus pandemic has created a bigger challenge to the whole world. And we can see how technology can give a hand. For medical people fighting the virus at the front line, Huawei has helped carriers quickly deploy 5G networks, so patients could get better treatment and making remote diagnosis possible. For those people in quarantine, they have to work and hold meeting at home. So the company is trying their best to provide stable and fast internet. Who want their boss to see them in a terrible definition, right? After all, can we just work hand in hand? The US is the most powerful country in the world. That's a fact. No one wants to challenge it and no one wants to change it. We're all living in a world order which is established by the US at this time of disaster. Why don't we just give up all the divergence and save the world together? Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, please like it, comment, and share it with your friends. Thank you and see you next time.